The Los Angeles Rams heading into Week 15, this time on Thursday Night Football primetime action. 7-6 record for the Rams heading to the San Francisco 49ers, sitting at 6-7 right now. Levi's Stadium will play host. 5:15 p.m. kickoff time, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit on the call. Kaylee Hartung will be on the sideline. It does feel like the Al Michaels-Kirk Herbstreit combo, that they're a little bit anti-Rams, it does feel like, and I don't know that for sure, but it does feel Kirk is a little anti-Rams, and I'm not sure why why I get that vibe so much, but there's something that does feel like that. But just tell me if you feel the same way after watching the game on Thursday. So we had a high of 58 on Friday in Santa Clara. And we do have a chance of rain most of the day, but might get away with having a dry game. Not too windy. Should be mid-50s, though, for the entire game. For you bettors, Rams are plus 2.5 and plus 124 on the money line, and we are 49.5 for your over/under. Let's take a look at the pants picks here. I do believe that, yes, so we do have all of them in here. I'm going with the Royal Pants, as the Rams will be in the white jersey this time. Payo time also going Royal, and we have Rams House going Soul, and he says he thinks it's a big risk, and I don't know. I kind of do too. And I think that he's just going Soul probably because he's just like almost about to clinch a win here. Clinch the pants picks. I don't know I don't know. We should have had a prize. Maybe I'll send him pants. I don't know. He's going to win. You get a pair of pants. I don't know what to tell you. It's pretty cool. But drop your pants picks below. We'll probably see them tomorrow. We may already have them actually, but our pants picks were in. I promise. They were in there before. A lot of things that we are looking for in this game. So the Rams can play part in the 49ers being eliminated from the playoffs this weekend. That's rather exciting with a 49ers loss and a Seahawks win versus the Packers. 49ers cannot make the playoffs. So we'll see what happens there. I do have the Packers beating Seattle, so maybe we'll have to wait another week before we get to all post about how the 49ers are not going to the playoffs, which does feel very realistic. I'll be honest. It just feels like something that's not going to be able to happen for them this year. But, oh well. Rams have won the last two versus Seattle, but sure, one was without those starters, but it does count. You know what I mean? Just because we benched all of our starters for that one, so did they. So, depth versus depth. Hey, and the game actually counted. It was an official game. Just because Carson Wentz played, not Matthew Stafford, doesn't mean like those stats don't count. That doesn't count as the all-time. You know what I mean? Like still there, man. Still there. Some injuries that we're looking for in this one. We do have the injury reports a little bit better now that we're playing on Thursday because we're recording this just 2 days out of the game. But as far as your Monday participants in practice, That's right. We'll start with Kobe Durant, Tyler Davis, Jordan Whittington, Davis Allen, DeMarcus Robinson, and Bo Limmer all did not practice on Monday. Full participants, though, we have KT Leviston and Tyler Higbee. Yes, we should be getting Tyler Higbee back for this game. I do think that he did sit the Bills game because he was going to be ready for this one, and I think that this is a pretty big game. Get him back in, get a division win. AFC games are definitely some, obviously you want to win any game, but a division game, much, much higher stakes. So Tyler Higbee returning for this one makes perfect sense. On the 49ers side, Ben Barch, Nick Bosa, Isaac Guerrero, and Trent Williams all did not participate in practice. Limited participants, Dre Greenlaw, Yetur Gross-Matos, Malik Mustafa, and D. Winters. History of this matchup all-time. This is the 152nd all-time meeting between these two. We've had plenty of football games against the 49ers. 49ers do lead the all-time series 78-70-3. Rams have won the past two. 49ers won the previous three. You can hear about the streaks, I'm sure, from 49ers fans. They love to talk about them. 49ers have won 9 of the last 12 against the Rams, but that big old one, the NFC Championship game. And that one was awesome because mainly it was one of those situations, I talked about it ad nauseum right here, man, was that either in that NFC Championship game, you're either going to be the reason your most hated rival gets to play a Super Bowl in your home stadium, or you get to knock out your most hated division rival so that you can play a Super Bowl in your own stadium. It was destiny, dude. It was going to happen. But winning that game was absolutely huge. And 2 times in the postseason that the Rams and 49ers have met. That is it. Both were NFC Championship games. Most recent game between these two came in week 3. That was a Rams win, 27-24, outscored the Niners by 10 points in the fourth quarter. First ever game between these two came on October 1st of 1950. That was a 35-14 win by the Los Angeles Rams. Some stories we're watching in this one. 49ers are officially in desperation mode. Could win out and not make the playoffs. They need help. They don't control their own destiny, and they are definitely in that desperation mood already. We're going into week 15 right now. It's desperate time. A loss all but put San Fran out of the postseason, not officially, if the Packers are able to beat the 49ers, of course, or excuse me, the Seahawks, of course, but it's looking extremely likely that San Fran will not be playing past week 18. San Fran not only is at risk of missing the postseason, but it's looking extremely likely that they are just kind of having a bad year. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen it with us, so I don't want to send like too much trash talk or anything like that over to the 49ers side. But we've seen, I mean, after the Super Bowl year, stuff like that, injuries are a big one for the 49ers. So obviously, there's a lot of moving pieces to just becoming, going from being one of the more dangerous teams in the league to not even making the playoffs. But it does not mean that they won't come to play, especially versus the Rams. This is still a division game, so obviously still going to be high-flying action. That's going to be pretty critical. 49ers are 1-3 in their last 4, but did beat the Chicago Bears last week. Before that, both the Packers and the Bills, though, were just tossing them around, man. It was hard going for the 49ers, which we love to see, of course. But the Rams have no clinching scenarios this week, but getting to 3-1 in the division, that's absolutely massive. So obviously we'll still have 2 more to play after that with the Seahawks and the Cardinals to end up the season. But Stafford is on fire right now. 10 touchdowns, no picks in his last 4 starts. Rams are 10-1 in December with Stafford since he came over in 2021. So obviously just absolutely on fire there. And if the Rams are serious right now, this is a game you win. Simply put, you come off of a game against the Buffalo Bills where you win by 2, high-flying fashion. First game ever where 2 teams scored more than 40 and there was no turnovers. There was all kinds of stats like that. No sacks, no turnovers for that much offense is unheard of. So rather exciting stuff. But you come off of that game, and if you don't win this game, then are you serious about going to the playoffs? I don't think so. Like, this is one of those games where you come into this one, and if you are a legitimate contender, a legitimate like late season push for a playoff spot team, you win this game. Simply put, it's prime time. It's a division battle against the team that's in last place in your division right now. You're trying to win the division. All those pieces are coming into place, and this is a game you win if you are serious about making a push. And also, shout out, dude, for all those people who were like, we need to get rid of this guy, we need to get rid of this guy ahead of the trade deadline. Why are we not selling all this stuff? Well, this is why. This is why we didn't sell, dude. This is it right now. We're experiencing the did not sell, and so now we're happy about it. Could you imagine we're like almost this good, but then like we didn't have Kupp, and we'd be like, dang it, if only we had a guy like him, So, I mean, take that for what you will, I suppose. McVay, by the way, 7-2 on Thursday Night Football and has won the last 3. I kind of hate Thursday Night Football games. I don't think weekday games should be a thing at all anymore. I think maybe I'm just getting too old for Thursday or like for weekday games. I gotta work the next day, dude. Let's wrap this up, man. Make it on a Sunday. It's gonna be okay. But I kind of hate the Thursday Night Football games. But this one, the timing of it is incredible. So I love getting the Bills game and then getting this game. I mean, I would have loved for this one to be at home. But coming off of that Bills game and you don't have time to really think about it, it's time to start prepping for another game. Our young team, I think, will do a good job with that specifically. That, like, we can't celebrate this win. We got the Niners coming up. I think that is a good thing. Then you get a 3-game, little stretch off of what we kind of consider a mini bye week on a Thursday night game. I absolutely love this. So you get the mini bye week off to New York to take on the Jets, a game you probably should win. Then you're back home against the Arizona Cardinals and Seattle Seahawks to wrap up your season. I like it. I like all this right now. Thursday night, this is the only time that I'm like, okay, this is actually kind of sweet timing for some Thursday night football action. And if the Rams go 4-0 to end the season, they win the NFC West. In worst case scenario, get the 4 seed, but could also be looking at a 3 seed depending on what happens out there in the NFC South. Let's take a look at the matchup in this one. The Rams offense going against the Niners defense. Niners defense is a top 3 unit. The Rams now officially in the top half in total offense, 15th in the league. Passing the ball, Rams are 9th, and Niners defense are 3rd in the league. Running the ball, this is kind of where the Rams, I think, are gaining some ground here, and I think are underrated. 25th ranked, going against the 12th ranked run defense for the 49ers, but I like this matchup here. Points being scored, Rams putting up almost 23 a game. That's dead center in the league. And Niners defense giving up almost 24. That's 21st. Third down conversion rate, 22nd ranked for the Rams offense at 36.7%. And the 27th ranked 49ers defense giving up almost 44% on their third down conversion. So obviously that is a big number there, and a way that the Rams could be able to take advantage. Also coming off of a big third down game this last week. We've seen that happen, man. Third downs are absolutely massive, and I think that's especially this year, that third down conversion rate in each game is kind of telling the story for the Rams right now. We had, we're sitting like 0-8 a couple weeks back. What was that, against the Dolphins, I think it was. Then, you get this one where going into the second half, we're like 83% on third down. So, I mean, obviously, it helps. It's huge, man. So being able to keep drives going, keep those opposing offenses off of the field. And I know that the 49ers offense is obviously like real banged up and stuff like that, but still keeping Purdy and Juwan Jennings on the sideline, George Kittle and those guys, that's going to be huge for this Rams offense. So playing the Rams offense is a good defense, especially in these games as we wrap up the season in December here. Rams coming off of their strongest output of the season, 44 points. It was absolutely awesome. Should have been 45. I don't know what happened on that kick. On the extra point. I know that Cardi ended up on the ground. I think he slipped or something. Kind of hard to tell where I was sitting, and I also was rolling my eyes so hard that I didn't see what happened, because that happens. But 49ers gave up just 162 yards to the Bears offense last week, 94 passing yards. That is very, very low, but it's the Bears, so not looking too deep into that. Week before that, Bills ran for 220 on San Fran. Running attack could be where the Rams go to on Thursday Night Football for sure. 49ers defense has certainly not been a bad unit, but 49ers in general just feel like they're kind of in an off year. Injuries are stacking up. They're just having some weird games and stuff, so just kind of seems like one of those. We know how those go. Rams offense has a chance to really build off of last week against a division opponent and put themselves in a really good spot. So the Rams offense will need to just be that unit that shows up big time. Obviously to make that playoff push, but against a division rival, the Rams offense is going to be that unit that I think needs to kind of set the tone for this game. Not only was third down conversion rate great for the Rams against the Buffalo Bills, but time of possession was absolutely huge as well, which is just how you beat a team like that. So keeping that kind of momentum going into this game, I think should be kind of the focus. Best matchup in this one, I'm looking at Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua versus that 49ers secondary. Kupp and Nacua are a combo that should really just be feared by the entire NFL. It's probably the best combo of any team. I mean, who was talked about? I'm not sure. I was watching a lot of stuff, but somebody's saying that the Stafford, Nacua, and Kupp trio is the best in the league for a passing attack. And then there were some other comments of like the Bengals combo, Minnesota's combo, stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, but these guys, when they're healthy and clicking, I mean, who can stop this Rams trio? I mean, it's absolutely just top tier, man. Nakua's racking up yards like it's toilet paper in 2020. Just no messing around, man. Just stockpiling, man. It's absolutely incredible to watch. And Charvarius Ward and Deommodore Lenoir, they're a solid combo, but they got their work cut out for them, man. Will they be enough to slow down this attack? I'm just not sure. Mustafa and Tafunga, solid safety combo as well, but Stafford going to 10 and 17 is just a connection that not a lot of people can slow down right now. So I'm feeling good about it going into Thursday Night Football. Let's take a look at the 3-2C. We're going to start with Tutu Atwell. The 2-2 train has definitely been rolling, certainly in position of trust right now in the Rams offense, which you absolutely love to see. Atwell continues to find his groove in the offense and certainly fills his role nicely. I mean, it doesn't feel like drops are an issue. It doesn't feel like he's playing poorly in really any capacity or any regard. He's running his routes well. He's catching the football. He's picking up that huge fourth down. That going for it was like, are we going to snap this, man? But it's like I just don't know if we trust Cardi enough to try to do that. But also, that only makes it a 6-point game. So I think I go for that also, just in knowing that who you got on the other side there. That's like, you got to be aggressive in that setting for sure. And needed to be, obviously. It clearly worked out for the Rams. But 2-2 coming in clutch on that one. Absolutely love to see it. But another game where all weekend tape, 10 and 17 are going to be showing up. So 2-2 has a chance to have a big day. Next up, we're going to go with Blake Corum. This selection has absolutely nothing to do with the way that Kyren Williams is playing, because Kyron's playing awesome, man. On his first carry of the day, Blake Corum, dude, that shake he had, man, that little shimmy, he put Epinesa on one knee, dude, that was so sick, man. That was so sick. Love to see it, man. And Blake, obviously, he's running confident now. I think he's running more confident now than he had been all season. On a short week, Rams could really rely on the run game, and Blake could be another important piece this week. Last up on your 3-C on the offensive side, we're going to go with Big Rob Havenstein. Big Rob had a great day against Von Miller. I do know that that fourth down play should have had a false start on Big Rob, but I didn't see it. So the play happened anyway, and also that was more than what would have been the 10 yards, the completion, that is, to Tutu. So if that play didn't happen and that gets called back, there's still a chance that the Rams pick it up. Obviously, whole situation changes. But the difference when in our offensive line when Big Rob is playing is palpable. It is able to be palped, man. I'm telling you, Rob Havenstein is just the anchor of this line, and being only, I think he's 33 years old, 34 years old. He's right around my age, just above my age. And he's just absolutely killing it, man. So, obviously, Nick Bosa's availability is unknown right now, but if he does play, of course, we'll be watching him against Big Rob. But if not, I do expect to see some interesting blitz looks to make up for that dip in talent for losing Bosa. The advantage here, I mean, look, I realize that this is a top 3 defense right now for the San Francisco 49ers, but they're coming off a game against the Bears, and their previous 2 games, they just gave up quite a bit. I know that those are really good teams, the Bills and the Packers, that they gave up a lot to, but I don't know. I said last week that maybe the Rams offense was still struggling because they had just gotten healthy and hadn't developed that continuity yet, and maybe they did that against the Bills. And in that case, if that is the case, if the Rams now have found their continuity and are going to be rolling with a healthy team, and now, going into this week, healthy completely for the first time this whole season with Tyler Higbee scheduled to be back. Sorry about your defense, San Fran. Sorry about your defense. Advantage here goes to the Rams going based on momentum alone. Let's take a look at the other side here, the 49ers offense against the Rams defense. 49ers on offense are 4th in total yards. The Rams defense 26th in total in yards given up. Passing the ball, top 7 unit for the 49ers, and the Rams defense is 24th in the league. Running the ball, 7th again for the 49ers offense. The Rams giving up 141. That's 28th in the NFL, but of course, still getting some dippage from a few big games here. But those averages are kind of just a touch skewed, just a touch though. Points being put up, tied for 11th for the 49ers offense. Putting up almost 24 a game, and the Rams giving up 25.5. That's 24th in the league. Third down conversion percentage, 43.7 for the 49ers offense, and the Rams defense giving up 40.6. That's 20th in the NFL. So, Rams defense does continue to have just really untimely mistakes and penalties. And there's some that, like on that fourth down defensive pass interference to Quentin Lake, I don't think that should have been called. They didn't comment on that on the broadcast. I just finished my rewatch of it. They didn't comment on that on the broadcast that it should have been called. But I think it shouldn't have, because I don't think Shakir made enough of an effort to turn around and try to fight for the ball. Quentin Lake had his back turned, and I just I just don't think that should have been called, man. I see that a lot of times not called, so I was surprised that it was. But either way. But if that stops, though, those untimely mistakes, this defense is really, really good. Stopping the Bills close to the end zone proved to be a struggle with Josh Allen, of course, but 49ers just aren't that same kind of offense. So if we can get them to, third and goal at the 1, I don't feel like they have the same amount of push that the Buffalo Bills would be able to have on that offensive line. 49ers are down their top 2 running backs for sure and could be out Guerendo as well. And that would mean that Patrick Taylor Jr. would be the top guy with Israel Abanikanda serving as RB2. Probably screwed that up. I do apologize. Much like the defense of the 49ers, they are coming off a big day versus Chicago, but a few rough days before that. Couldn't get up to 250 total offensive yards against the Bills or the Packers. And the Rams on defense, again, have a lot of talent, but a lot of inexperience. Got close to a bunch of sacks last week, but just didn't get home on any of them. But the pressure was certainly present. So if the Rams front is able to cause some more problems this week, I do think that the way that Josh Allen plays, he's good at not taking sacks. He's good at moving around. And I know that Brock Purdy is as well. But Brock Purdy also relies pretty heavily on Christian McCaffrey when he is under those pressures. That's like his last minute, like quick, get the ball out to this guy. We saw that a lot this year, and he was relying really heavily on that. Brock Purdy definitely is a worse quarterback when Christian McCaffrey's not on the football field. I think it's very obvious to see. I think a lot of 49ers fans try to argue with you on that, but I think that the facts are there, man. I think that when he's really confident in his players who are like straight up superstars, he's an incredible talent. And yes, he can run around, and sure, he doesn't have a bad arm, but I still put him middle of the pack as far as overall NFL quarterbacks go, and it's because of that. I don't feel like any game that I've ever seen from Brock Purdy or the 49ers that he just put them on his back and carried them to a win. He relied real heavily on his supporting cast. And that's exactly why I say that. And it's not intended to necessarily just be a shot at Brock Purdy. I'm not just trying to just, down this guy or anything like that. I'm just saying what I see. I have never seen him, like a guy like Matthew Stafford, put the team on his back and say, you know what, I'm not losing this game. I'm going to go make whatever play I need to go make to do this. He starts doing dump-offs and screen passes to Debo, and he gets just slant to Kittle, then a dump-off to CMC, and then they go down and score, and everybody's like, Purdy's incredible. It's like, is he? Or does he have some of the sickest weapons in the NFL? And that isn't the case right now, and I do think that is indicative and kind of reflects and mirrors in their record. You lose some guys, you lose that talent, you lose that security blanket. They're 6-7, last place in the division. I don't think it's an accident. If you take away the Rams stars and all that stuff, we're still in games. I realize that there were some games that the Rams were losing stuff like that, but you took away Nacua and Kupp, Matthew Stafford's 2 favorite guys. We're in the game the whole time against the Packers. We are beating teams like the Raiders and stuff like well, I think we had them back for that, but either way, so we're in a lot of those games, and I know we were 1-4 to start the season, and those weapons were out, but there was a lot of games in there where Matthew Stafford was playing great ball, and I just don't think that the same thing can be said for a Brock Purdy. Again, I'm not just trying to talk trash on Brock Purdy, I'm just calling it like I see it, that when you take away his really good weapons, he's just not the same quarterback. He looks a little jittery out there, he's quicker to get rid of it. His accuracy dwindles, and then he does that Jordan Love thing where he's kind of throwing the ball off his back foot a lot and stuff. So I think that we see that very clearly. But either way, also I'd love to see Verse and Fisk, and I mean really this entire Rams front after getting so many pressures last week. To be able to get home on some more sacks. I know that they do come in bunches, and that was a tough offense to get sacks against. But I would like to see those kind of get home a little bit more. Let's take a look at the best matchup here. 49ers offense against the Rams defense. I'm going to go with Jauan Jennings versus the Rams secondary. Much like the Rams offense, there's a really good wide receiver matchup here. Jauan Jennings is the one, though. I am just, I know I said Kupp and Puka for the Rams offense. I am going just Jennings here for the 49ers offense. I'm not adding Debo because he is second on the team in targets, but does lead the team in drops. So, I don't know. Sounds like struggling to me, Debo, but what the heck do I know? So it does seem like he's just kind of lost a little bit of a step. He doesn't seem as aggressive or as strong as he has in the past. And I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure if he's dealing with some injuries and stuff like that, but Debo definitely just doesn't look like the same player that he has been in the past. Jauan Jennings, though, had a really good day against the Rams in their first meeting. 11 catches for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns. The lack of weapons elsewhere on the 49ers offense means to me that if you can stop Jennings, you should be able to win this football game. And that's not to say that if Jauan Jennings isn't stopped, the Rams can't win this football game. I mean, he literally had 11 catches, 175 yards, and 3 touchdowns last time, and the Rams won that game. So it's not necessarily like one of those things where if he goes off, we don't feel like we have a chance or anything like that. But I do think that he is the strongest weapon on that 49ers offense coming into this game. The lack of weapons elsewhere, though, like I said, on the 49ers offense, just Jennings, he's going to be kind of targeted, I think. I think he'll be kind of the focal point as far as the Rams or the 49ers game planning goes. And although I am hesitant to say that if you don't stop him, though, that like, again, that if Jennings goes off, that the Rams just can't win this game. I'm hesitant to say that, but simply lack of weapons for San Fran. I think that Jennings is going to be that kind of guy. Let's take a look over here at the 3 to see for the Rams defense. I'm going to start with Jared Verse. Was definitely getting into the backfield, had some real sweet pass rush moves, had a couple of spins that led to him on the ground, which I didn't like to see, but hey, what can you do? He's had what feels like at least a player or two every game that makes you that kind of just where you're like, this guy's insane, man. Like, this guy is he's one of the best already, just like he has a few of those plays a game where you're just like, oh my God, Jared, it's absolutely crazy, man. But it's easy to see Purdy feeling less comfortable without CMC, like I had mentioned. So if Verse can get to the backfield and create some chaos, I think that would be very good for the Rams. Quentin Lake is going to be next up on the 3 to see. It feels like Lake is playing well, but not great right now. He is having those plays every game. They kind of just make you shake your head. Like there was the touchdown that he gave up. Then there was another penalty where it's like, dude, like come on, man. But I mean, he's Captain Q, man. I'm looking for him to turn it up against a division rival. I think he is one of these leaders on this defense. So I'm looking for Captain Q to turn it around. And he's not playing poorly. There just seems to be too many plays, I think, where you're like, dude, what was that? So I'm liking Quentin Lake in this one, though. Short week, being a leader, you got to just rally the troops, man. Captain Q, I like it. Byron Young is going to be my last on 3 to see here. I know we just went with the other edge rusher here, but with the 49ers possibly down their top 3 running backs, pass rush is going to be huge for the Rams this week. We cannot forget about the run entirely, obviously, but these are still NFL players. I mean, what we say what we want about backups or whatever, they still made it to the NFL. These are still some of the best athletes in the world. But Purdy is going to be leaned on quite a bit either way. And if the Rams can get Jared Verse and Byron Young into Purdy's face all day long, it could lead to some turnover opportunities for the secondary, something we didn't see last week also. BYV8, create some chaos, and leading to a big day for the Rams. I absolutely love to see it. Advantage here. Again, I realize this is a top 5 unit overall, right? Top 4 offense for the 49ers at the moment. But is it really? Nothing about the 49ers feels overly powerful right now. Rams defense has certainly been a spotty unit, but rewatching the Bills game, it really should have been more lopsided. The 3 half-yard touchdown runs from Josh Allen accounted for 21 points. Most teams can't pull that kind of thing off. Plus some really just oddly timed penalties. There's some that just didn't feel that great. That OPI that was called on D-Rob, that one he got hurt on, shouldn't have been OPI. Shouldn't have been DPI, honestly. Should have just let that one go. And if you're going to call it on both of them, shouldn't you not call it on any of them? I mean, doesn't that stand to reason if they are both messing with each other? It's like, just call it a wash. I mean, just let the play happen. Just let it see what it is. And at that point, I mean, whatever. But either way, based on momentum, again, I'm giving this one to the Rams. I'm giving advantage to the Rams defense. I think the Rams defense knows that they are a unit that is behind right now. And I like that if there's going to be a week for the Rams defense to really turn it on and kind of show what they can do, this has just got to be it. This has got to be the one. Division, Thursday Night Football, primetime, this has got to be the one that you got to do it in. Let's take a look at some connections here. Former Rams who are on the 49ers, defensive coordinator Nick Sorensen. He was a player for the Rams, 01-02. Assistant head coach Brandon Staley, might remember him. He had a pretty cool defense for the Rams. Leonard Floyd is over there, Flo. Quarterback Brandon Allen served some time as like a QB3 for the Rams. Former 49ers who are now on the Rams. Quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. One of my all-time favorite plays against the 49ers happened to be against Jimmy Garoppolo. Aaron Donald throwing him to the ground. Travin Howard picking it off. Yeah! So sick. Offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur was also in San Fran. Safeties coach Chris Beek. Wide receivers coach Eric Yarbs. That was way back. And cornerback Kello Witherspoon spent some time there as well, a couple seasons. Some NFL connections for you. D. Will played in Jacksonville with offensive lineman Ben Barch, who may not play this weekend. Defensive tackle Neville Gallimore played in Dallas with Malik Collins. Tight end Eric Salbert. And offensive lineman Isaac Alarcon. Probably ruined that. My bad. Tyler Johnson played in Houston with Malik Collins, Chris Conley, and Isaac Yiadom. I'm trying to say that not so fast. I feel like it's supposed to be like Yiadom, but I say Yadom, you know. Either way. D-Rob and Roseboom played in Kansas City with Javarius Ward. K-Dot played in Pittsburgh with Josh Dobbs and Javon Hargrave. A couple college connections for you. Kyron Williams played in Notre Dame with offensive lineman Aaron Banks. Blake Corum played in Michigan with wide receiver Ronnie Bell and cornerback Ambry Thomas. Connor McDermott played at UCLA with offensive lineman Jake Brendel. Jared Verse and Braden Fisk played at Florida State with Tatum Bethune and Renardo Green. And let's see, A.J. Jackson played at Iowa with George Kittle. Kobe Turner played at Wake Forest with Malik Mustafa. And Jake Hummel played at Iowa State with Brock Purdy. A couple of milestones that we have either reached or we're keeping our eyes on. And, I didn't do the math on Record Watch, but Record Watch officially for Christian Roseboom, by the way, officially now not on pace to be getting that record right now. But still plenty of opportunities, and definitely just one or two of these games having a big week could put them right on pace to beat the single season tackle record for the Rams set by Ernest Jones last year. Needs 145 is the record, so if Christian Roseboom, who does lead the Rams, can get to 146, we'll set that mark. Other than that, though, Matthew Stafford, first Rams quarterback to record multiple touchdown passes and 0 interceptions in 4 straight games. No other Rams quarterback has ever done that. Officially has also defeated 30 teams in the NFL, now with his first career win against the Buffalo Bills. This week, he needs 207 passing yards to pass Kurt Warner for 6th most in Rams history. Kyron Williams reached 1,000 rushing yards in back-to-back seasons. That's absolutely awesome. And this week he needs 60 rushing yards to pass Eric Dickerson for most consecutive games with at least 60 rushing yards. That would be a Rams record. And Quentin Lake needs just 4 tackles to reach 100. Would be the 11th Rams DB all-time to hit that mark, and the first since Jordan Fuller in 2021. Jordan Fuller for president. I got his jersey still sitting there. Yeah, big fan. I have not yet selected a new favorite player, by the way. There's just too many really sick ones. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many guys that I just like that I'm ready to like just fully hop. Kobe Turner, Jared Verse, Braden Fisk is in that. Puka Nacua, obviously. Kevin Dotson, because he's so sick, dude. We've got Cam Kinchins, I'm a big fan of. Bobby Brown, Gig'em Aggies, man. Christian Roseboom has been my dude for a long time. I don't know. I can't pick, so I don't know. We're still not there yet. So I want to know your favorite player, though. Let me know who yours is. Maybe that'll kind of help me figure it out. I got to figure something out, man, because, yeah, I think it's fun, man. I know some people think I've been made fun of a bunch for, it's like, oh, he goes crazy about one player all the time or whatever. But it's like, I think it's fun, man. This is a game. And ultimately, like, we're just fans, right? So, like, for me, it's just like that brings it back to being, young and watching this team and stuff and just kind of having fun with it and picking a favorite player. And, like, I don't know, that's stuff's just kind of fun to me. To keep it loose, keep it fun, man. This is a game that we're talking about here. So why not have a good time with it, man? So, yes, Thursday night football. Rams heading up to take on the San Francisco 49ers. A win goes a long way in pushing to playing more games after Week 18. So Rams win. does a lot of good into the universe. Thanks.